The class. I'm just making this recording so that it makes your life easy to continue doing your assignments. We already completed one lab assignments, which was lab one, which you guys did it 2 weeks ago, last Monday. 2 weeks ago, I think on September 3rd, okay, whatever it is. So I'll try to make a recording so that, this is an online class. It will help you do your assignments, even if you want to do it before you come to the class, because you might be busy with something else doing the work. You might have some work to do, whatever it is. So you have the little bit of leverage and liberty to do your homework on your own, lab work on your own pace. So that is the beauty of having online classes. I never did this type of recording before, but my creative mind, prompted me to do this. I was thinking about it for a long time. So I think this might help you. Obviously, you'll be taking lesson in my class, but if you want to do it in advance and a little bit get your feet wet to get started with your lab work, this will definitely help you. So just to get started with what we are doing before, you completed week one or lab one assignments 2 weeks ago. So this week on this Monday, that's tomorrow, which is tomorrow, I'm doing the recording on Sunday. It will be on, graphing, okay? As I mentioned, graphing is graphing is an important element for your lab work. Most of the online lab work are associated with whatever experiment you do, whether it's a population, whether it's agriculture, whether it's a sustainability, whether it's a water pollution, whether it's a air pollution. You'll be dealing with a lot of data points, okay? You'll be collecting data from different websites, from the research data, and you'll be analyzing those data. So that's the way how all these online labs are designed, okay? So in order to analyze the data, one of the important tool for data analysis is graphing. Like most of the data you will get in a tabular format, meaning that you collect the data, you put it in a table, okay? So then tabular data can be represented graphically. That graphic representation helps understand better what is going on, okay? How one variable is related to the other, okay? So I don't want to put too much into it because it's very simple, as you mentioned. Most of you guys are familiar with graphing. In the graph, there are two axes, x-axis and y-axis. X-axis being the independent variable, and y-axis is dependent variable. What dependent variable means? Meaning that y value is dependent on x value, whereas x values depend on nobody. It's by itself. If x changes, y changes. That's how the dependent variable is defined. Okay, so most of the lab work will be it will be instructed that which data point you have to line up in the y-axis and which data point you have to line up in the x-axis. All right, I posted few other videos in the lab number 2 folder. Every week's folder has some the video instructions. Specifically, there is a video instructions how to do the graphing utilizing Excel. You must have you have to watch that video, because that if you watch that video, that will make your life easy and you will understand how to create a graph using the Excel. In this video, I will also explain how to create a video using Excel as well. So both will reinforce, both this video will reinforce your learning, learning capability, or it will increase your efficiency in constructing a graph. All right. So I want to share some screen with share the screen that includes the instructions. So first of all, you'll go to these lab instructions, graphic lab, as you can see. Like, we went through this page 1, okay, all the instructions, how to write your report. But for the graphing, you don't need to write a lab report. Lab report will start from week 3. For this lab, you don't have to do any laboratory report. No, there will be some laboratory report, like there's some writing things, okay? So so you can follow this method for that, that's fine, the cover page. But after you plot 3 graphs, you have to write a summary page, okay? Sorry, it was my mistake. There is a report involved, so just a summary page. In this page, in the page number 3, you see there's a example given. The table 1 has a data set, height versus temperature. As you see, the data shows that as the height increases, height means like if you go up in the space, or if you go higher up in the elevation, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer, 10 kilometer. 10 kilometer is quite a distance. 10 kilometer means like it's between 7 to 8 miles in the space, okay? So as you go higher into the space, the temperatures start dropping down, okay? So you see that at the sea level, temperature is 40 degrees Celsius. At 1 kilometer level, temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. At 2 kilometer level, temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. At 6 kilometer high, the temperature is -10, -20. And 10 kilometer high, the temperature is -60. So -60 is like a below freezing point. -6, 0 is the freezing point, okay? -10, -20, these are well below freezing point, so very cold, okay? So that is not the bottom line. Bottom line here is how to construct a height versus temperature graph, okay? As you see in this figure 1, you should write a title for the graph. I will show you in the Excel how to write the title and label x-axis, y-axis. I will show you that's okay. But eventually you'll have to construct a graph, right? So the data in this case, you see that in the x-axis, all these height data are in the x-axis. Why? Because you see, height is from what? 1 to 10 kilometer, okay? Height is a independent variable, meanings like height has no bearing, like, height is not dependent on any other variable. You can go as much as you want. But what happens? As you go higher, temperature changes. So temperature is what? Dependent on height. As you go higher up, okay, temperature changes. If you go 2 kilometers, the temperature changes. If you go 3 kilometers, temperature changes. If you go 10 kilometers, temperature changes to 60. So temperature, ambient temperature is dependent on height, how high you are going. Higher you go, lower the temperature, right? But height has no string attached. You can go as high as you can, but temperature has a string attached, meaning that as you go higher, temperature goes down. Okay, so that's why temperature is in the y-axis, which is dependent variable, and height, which is a independent variable, that goes into the x, right? So I will show you later on with your actual data that you are assigned to work on. I will show you those data, how to create a table using those data, and then create a graph out of those data, okay? Yeah, so that is the ultimate goal. In this example, you see the data are tabulated and we got a beautiful straight line graph, all right? So let's move on to the next page. in the instruction, it says, was the following tutorial on how to input the data and make line graphs in the Microsoft Excel. I will click on it. You have to watch this video. Let's see what happens when I click on these things, okay? I won't show you the whole video because you will watch this video and you will see how to create the graph.
Video.
So I paused it because I don't want to show you the video because video is there for you to watch. I don't need to show you the video in my recording. In my recording, I will show you the way I am doing it, okay? You follow this video and also you will follow the video I'm creating that will help you create a chart or create a graph, okay? So let's move on. I want to go back. No, okay, let me go back. Okay, so I'm in the instruction page again. So plotting the graph using a Microsoft Excel. So you can in the science and okay, so these are like some of the table given to practice. I would recommend you practice with this data. Like for example, I will show you this one in table 2. Table 2 shows you the altitude versus pressure. Again, altitude means like height. As you go higher up, the pressure increases, pressure decreases, okay? Temperature decreases, pressure decreases, okay? At the sea level, pressure is 760. So now first, how would I make a graph, okay? First, I have to put this data into a Excel spreadsheet, okay? So let's see how it works, okay? First, I try to create I'll try to copy this data. I don't think I'll be very successful with just copying and pasting. I won't be able to create a table, but I will try if it works. Otherwise, I will use a different technique, right? Okay, no, it don't work. I can use a different technique, but I don't think that will work for you. You have to create your own table using this data set. Okay, how do you do it? I will open up Excel. So Excel, I will create exactly the same table. I will make 2 columns. First column will be altitude, second column will be pressure. Okay, let's do it. So I'm switching over to Microsoft Excel, right? I'll close these things off. So I will write on the first column. You see, these are columns, A, B, C, D, these are columns. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, these are called rows, okay? On the first column, I will put altitude, and in the second column, I will put as pressure. Okay, there is a unit there. I will also put the unit. Altitude unit is unit means like what? Unit of measurement. Is it in kilometer? Is it in mile? Is it in feet? Is it in year? Whatever, is it in meter? But the measurement unit here is kilometer. And measurement for pressure is torque. T-O-R-R means torque. Okay, so I'll write as kilometer. And for the pressure, I'll put it as torque, T-O-R-R. Okay. So then I will put all these values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 760. If I write it, then hit on enter, then it will be in the field. Each and every cell, because once you write down, let's say next one is what, 674. So I type in 674, then hit enter. You see, once you hit enter, the number will be registered in the cell. 596. 525. 462. I'm switching the application because right now I'm in Excel. Now I have to see what is written in the instruction. So I'm looking at that number, then coming back to Excel and writing it down. Okay, 462. 405. 354. 308. 267. What happened? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 17, 5, 9, 11. Oh, I wrote 462 twice. 405. You have to make sure that you write the correct you write the number in the appropriate row, right? You see, I wrote duplicate number in 2 consecutive rows. So I have to change this. It should be 354. It should be 308. It should be 267. You cannot have a duplicate number. 231. Then 198. 198. Right. So what would I do? I can select this. I can put a border around it, and it will look like a table. Okay. So if I click on here, you don't have to, but you can do this just to make it look better. All borders, you see over here, all borders. You click on all borders, you see, now it looks like a nice table. But it's okay. You don't need to make these border, okay? And time to time, I will save this, okay? Because if I don't save it, there might be some problem. If the computer crashes, I will lose everything. Then I have to recreate the whole thing. It's a good practice just to save it quite frequently. Where is BCC? Go to BCC. I mean, you can create your own folder wherever you want. These are the folder I created, fall 2021. These are my class. I will put lab number 2, right? Save, right? So now it's saved. If your computer crashes, I can always get back, all right? So now what? Now let's go back to the instruction again, what it says. Hit the start button from the left, select program, select Microsoft Excel. This is the instruction how to open up the Microsoft Excel application onto your screen. Enter the data from the x-axis in the first column, which I did. Enter the data from the y-axis in the second column, which I did. Take the mouse and click any point below your data value. From the menu at the top of the screen, select insert and select chart. So now the main instruction is saying that how to create a chart. You created a table, Now you can create a chart, okay? And it says from the chart, type menu select XY scatter. So follow carefully how I do it, okay? Then after, okay? So what it's saying that I'm selecting all these values, right? I'm selecting. How do I select? Click on it, right? Then don't release it. Move it around sideways so that both of these column is selected. Then go down, slide your down while you are holding onto your mouse. Don't release it. Now I release it. Okay. Now all these data are selected. Now I will go to insert. Insert, you see there chart. I will rest on here, scattered. You see the drop down menu right here, click. So I will select this chart, okay? There's a data points with some line. I like this format. So click on this. Now I got height, altitude on the in the x-axis and pressure in the y-axis. Okay. So now I'm going back to the instruction. So we are almost there. Okay. We are almost done. So now we'll go back to the instruction. Let's see what the instruction says. The instruction says from the chart menu XY scatter, we did it. Click next, whatever we did. Click the red arrow in the right of the box that says data range. Go the data and hold down the left mouse button and the data till all value are enclosed in a box. Okay. So hit enter and keyboard, next enter, go on to the option, click chart. Okay. So listen, there is a lot of things telling you. I will show you quickly all these steps in 1 or 2 steps. Okay. You can follow exactly the same procedure that they are telling you, like step 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. I will go up to 18 right now. I will create an add trend line. This is the most important thing. Okay. Chart is created. All I have to do in this chart, I have to rewrite or write a nice title. I will put a nice title for this graph. I will label x-axis. I will label y-axis. Okay. So I have 2 things, and I have to create a trend line. So I have to do 4 more things. Those are pretty easy. Okay. But these steps, like, those 4 things are done, like, the way it explains from step 11 through 22 or through 19, right? Step 11 through 19, I'll show you in a quick 2 or 3 maneuver on the Excel. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to create, remember, we have to create a label for the x-axis. We have to create a label for y-axis. We have to give a title. Okay. Title is there, but I will change the text, and I have to create a trend line. So first, most important thing is creating the trend line. After I create the trend line, then I will label x-axis, then I will label y-axis, and I will give a retitle the graph. All right. So let's go back to the graph again. So I will click on here. Okay. Click on this graph. Right now, my objective is to do a trend line. I will right click on it. Okay. Then you see the add trend line, right? Now I will tell you one thing. You might have a different version of Excel on your computer. I am using this Excel that is on my computer. Okay. It is not the same. You might not have exactly the same version of Excel on your computer, but the basic functionality is pretty same. Okay. So on the right click, I give add trend line, right? So when I click on add trend line, then linear is selected. That's fine. All I have to do, close it. So you see now trend line is drawn. This solid black line, one straight line. This is called trend line, right? Now, so one task is done, major task, drawing the trend line. Second thing, what do I have to do? I have to label x-axis and y-axis. So what I'll do in order to do that, I will double click, I'll select this graph, right click on it, then I will say that add data labels. No, not add. Okay, so I will click on layout. Okay, select the data, or you don't have to. You can click the layout. Then you see chart title, axis title. Okay, so I will click on axis title. So there are two: primary horizontal, which is x-axis, primary vertical. So let's take care of the x-axis first. Okay, I click. If I go over there, title, there's called none, two options: none, title below axis. I prefer putting title below axis. I click on this. Okay, you see there's a text box appeared. I will highlight the whole thing. Then I change the title. Axis title should be what is in the x-axis? Altitude. Done. I will go back again. Axis title, primary vertical axis. It says there are more options for the vertical: none, rotated title, vertical title, horizontal title. No, I will look at rotated title. Okay, it's up to you, whatever you like. Then I will select all these text title. Then I will put it. What is in the what should be in the y-axis? Pressure. Okay, done. And you don't need to put, you need to go in here, chart title. If there is no chart, nothing written, then you go and add chart title, but it's already there. All I have to do, click on it. If you click on it, you see that it's there is a text box there. So you highlight and give a nice title. What would I have to do? I can write pressure versus altitude. Pressure versus. Done. That's it. The whole graph is done. Now I will save it again. I can take a look at it, how it looks in the print view. Go to File, Print Preview. I'll see this. Then you print it. How do you print it? You print it as because it's online, okay? You save it as a PDF document. Okay, so let's say I'll go to the PDF, print, right? Because you have to save it as a PDF document, then you upload into Blackboard. Okay, you go to your assignment. In the assignment, you will see assignment number 2. In the assignment number 2, or sorry, lab number 2. In the lab number 2, you will attach this document. All right. So let's print a PDF document first. Print. Okay, Adobe PDF. Right? PDF, okay. In my computer, it takes a little longer than a normal computer. I don't know what's wrong with my computer, but it's a little bit slow. In your computer, it might be a little bit faster. Sometimes I have to reboot my computer. I don't know. I mean, oh, sorry. I have to give it a name. That's why, right? You see, there's something showed up, right? There's something showed up. So you have to save the file as, you have to give the instructions, okay, how to save it. Desktop, BCC, You can do whatever, it's a whatever folder you want to pull. Okay, lab number 2, PDF file. Okay, so it was taking that long because I have to select where I want to save it. So now let's go back to my folder. I will go back to my folder. Desktop, BCC, fall 2021. Okay, wait a second. Didn't do it. Okay, let's do it again. Go print, Adobe PDF. Yeah, it's creating PDF now. You can see that. Thing is that I won't put too much weight into it, conversion of PDF. You can do it in your computer. It will create a PDF copy. You know how to do that. I showed you. It doesn't matter how long it takes on my computer. That is not the bottom line. Once you create the graph in Excel, you can convert it into PDF document. I don't have to teach any students. They all know how to convert to a PDF when you are printing. So once you save it, then you can upload that document into the assignment. Go to the assignments and upload the document. All right, that's pretty much it. What else do I need to show you? So your actual assignments. Okay, so actual assignment for lab 2 will be this. Plot the data in table 2, okay, which I did already, okay, using the table 2. So that is your first task, okay, to plot the data that is in the table. So I showed you the first part of your lab assignments, that the graph between graphical relationship between altitude and pressure. Okay, for the second one, Bronx Community College, select data on atmospheric greenhouse gas that are responsible for climate change using Picaro greenhouse gas monitor. The BCC Picaro instrument monitored for these greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor. This greenhouse gas data is shown on BCC on May 1st, 2013 in table 3 below. Use the data in table 3, make the following plots on Excel using the time for each of the concentration. So basically, you have to recreate this data, a table using this data, okay? This is the main task. Once you create the table, then you select all this data. Remember, you don't have to create 4 different tables for me. Four different data sets. If you select all these data, let's say, I will show you a little bit. Let me see if I can copy this data somehow. So I'm sharing, so I created this table again. The table is in the assignment sheet. The table 3. Table 3 is the greenhouse gas data monitoring results from May 1st, 2013. So you see there are 4 columns: time column, methane, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. Okay. So once I create this table, where did I create it? Okay, right here, the Excel. Okay, I created this table in the Excel. You can manually create the table, or you can convert that PDF document into Word document text, and you can copy the table from the Word document and paste it onto Excel. Okay, but you cannot copy and paste directly from a PDF document to Excel document. It won't give you the exact table format. Only way you can copy and paste the table if you convert that. If you convert the PDF document into Word document, then Word document will show you the exact table the way you see it in the PDF document. Then you have to copy that whole table, then you can paste it. Okay. In order to do that, you have to have that functionality on your computer or that software extension from Adobe. I have a very high-level Adobe software, so I can convert from PDF to a Word document or whatever I want and mix it up and stuff like that. You might not have that extension. So don't worry about that. You have to create this table manually. That is the bottom line, okay? So how you create it, it's up to you. If you have the extension, that's fine. So let's go back to the instruction, what it was telling. In the instruction, it says that I have to draw these 4 graphs: time versus methane, time versus carbon dioxide, time versus water vapor, okay? I can do all these 4 graphs in one single shot, okay? How I do it, I'll show you. So what would I do? I will select all this data, as I told you, left click on it, don't release it, move it around. Once everything is selected, remember, don't take blank space. Do not copy, do not select blank cell like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. No, you have to select only these data. If you select blank cell, blank column, blank row, you won't get the desired outcome, or you won't get the desired graphic. You have to only select the data, okay? So I select the data. Now I'll go to insert, then I will click on scatter graph, then I will click on exactly the same thing over here, what I did for table 2, click on it. You see all these data is, all these 4 graphs in one shot. You don't need to create. If you select all of them, all of these graphs are in one single shot. That's fine. Okay, you don't have to do it anything separate. Okay, so now what would I do? I will label them. Okay, and I'm done. So how do I go? Click on layout, click on, I will put a axis title now because there is no axis title, right? So what would I do? I will click on chart title, then it's asked for none, centered overlay title above the chart. I will select above the chart. It's up to you. I will select above the chart. So you see, now it created a text box. I will put as time versus, okay, let's see, I can give it a better title. It says this data, Bronx CUNY greenhouse gas data for May 1, 2013. I will exactly copy these title of the table, and I will give the same title for this graph as well, right? Bronx CUNY greenhouse gas data from May. Okay, that tells you everything, right? Beautiful. Then I click on, so title is done. Now I can change the font too a little bit, right? I want to make it a nice font. I select the table, select the text box, then I go to home, then I go here. I like Cambria. I always give Cambria. I can put a different font. Let's say I can put a 16 font, or I can put a 14-point font. Okay, that's fine. Beautiful. Now I will go back again to the layout. I will put title. I will put label for axis title, primary horizontal axis. Okay, x-axis, title below axis. Okay, the title below axis should be, what is it? What is the title? Time, right? Time is in the x-axis everywhere. Time. Time, is it time? Let me see. Yeah, time. Because it's a time versus methane, time versus blah, 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 time. So I'll put time, right? Click. Again, I see that this font is a little bit different than the Cambria because it looks different. So I'll go back to home, then click on it. Then I'll click on Cambria. I want to give it a nice bigger font, not 10. I will put a 12, right? That's fine, right? For the y-axis, I don't put anything on it because these legends tells which one is what. It's color coded because in the y-axis should be label for methane, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. Okay, so the legend tells me. So for this one, I don't need to put anything, just time. Okay, if you want to put some label, that's fine. Like why not? If you like, right? You can go to title, primary vertical axis, rotated title, right? So you can call it methane. That's fine. You can do it. But it's not necessary because this legend, it doesn't look that good, right? So I would rather take it off, right? Because this legend tells me that the red line represents carbon dioxide, green line represents water vapor, blue line right here, blue line right above, blue line represents methane, and so on, okay? Now let me take a look at it if all these data points are, because you cannot have any text, remember, all has to be numbered, otherwise it will mess up your graph. So now let's go to print preview. Let's see what it says. Print preview. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have 3 graphs, right? Do I need to do 3 graphs? Yes, 3 graphs. You see, time versus methane, time versus carbon dioxide, time versus water vapor. So I have all these 3 graphs in one page. That's good. That's the way it should be because it looks much nicer. You don't have to make 3 separate graphs, all right? If you want to make 3 separate graphs, that's fine, well and good. But for me, you select all this data and do exactly the way I showed you. That will conclude all your graphing requirement. What else they're asking you to do in that instructions? Watch the following video on how to transfer your graph from Excel to Word. Okay, so for Excel to Word, okay, you can watch the video and I will also show you how to do it, okay, at the same time, right? So let's say I select on these things, then I do the right click. On the right click, from the right click, I select copy, right? Now I open up a Word document, empty document, right? I already copied it, Control V, or I can do the right click, then paste. You see, the graph is pasted. Now you can move around the graph. You can move around the graph, or you can just hit enter. It will go down. Now I want to also include these. Table here too. Okay, so what would I do? I will select all these table data point. then right click on it, copy, go back to Word document, I will go on top of it. Then I will do right click on it, paste. Okay, the table is there. Okay, and the next page you have the graph. Okay, you can exactly do the same thing for number 1, for table 2. Where was it? Let's see. It's on sheet 1. Okay, I selected the table, so I right click on it, copy, go back. No. Right. Okay. So I will copy and I made some space. I will include paste. Right. So this thing is, again, I can change the font of this. You see the font is different. I can select the table, then go to text box here. I can change the font. I like Cambria. I will put Cambria, and I want to give them font of 12 points. Okay. So now it's beautiful, right? So I will move around a little bit down, because I have to include the graph as well. Okay, so let me go back to Excel again. I will click on it. Again, I can change the font here before I move on. You can do over there too, that's fine, right? Cambria, altitude, Cambria, right? You can do whatever you want, okay? You don't have to do exactly Cambria, whatever you like, okay? It don't affect your grade, okay? As long as you do nice presentation, that's fine. Copy, then I'll go back to my Word document, then I will paste it, right? So graph is there somewhere, right? Where is the graph? Probably, right. Yeah, you have to do a little bit of actually, you know what? I can cut this table. I can actually, I selected it and right click on it, cut it. I want to take it, move it somewhere else, right? I'll move it to the next page. How about that? That's the way I don't have to fight with them. So then right click on it, paste. So graph is there now again, right? I have this, okay? And no fighting, right? Just change it. And also you see that, okay, these fonts are a little bit different, okay? These numbers, I can change the font, okay? Click on it, it's in the Word document, remember. I go here, select Cambria, select 12, right? Click on this data, go to Cambria, make it uniform font, okay? And uniform label, right? So now everything is done. What else is telling you? Submit all 4 graphs in, okay? So it's all done, all 4 graphs in your results in the lab report. So you will put that as a results. Below each graph, explain in 1 paragraph what these graphs is telling you, right? So follow the instruction exactly. So 5, it says that you have to go in here. So you put this, okay, hold on. Cut, title, I didn't copy them. Yeah, I will paste the table here again. Right click, paste. Okay, that's fine. So for the table, this is the table 2, and you draw the graph for pressure versus altitude. Then you write a paragraph about this table, what you did, not what you did, how it looks, because you made a pressure versus altitude data. You graph of pressure versus altitude. You gave a trend line, right? So you talk about this graph, what you see, it's a linear relationship, right? Initially, it was a curve. So by adding a trend line, you develop a linear relationship. And for the second graph, you put the table, and this is the main graph, and you talk about it, that all these data were selected to create a graph of 3 graphs of time versus methane, time versus carbon dioxide, time versus water vapor, and all those 3 graphs are jumbled into one composite graph. Okay, and then this graph shows the relationship between time versus level of methane in the atmosphere on May 1st, 2020. Also, the carbon dioxide level on May 1st, 2020, and water vapor in the atmospheric atmospheric water vapor in the Bronx area, not entire New York City, in the Bronx area. Actually, where Bronx area? Bronx Community College area, right? Each and everywhere the number is different, right? Some places level could be high, somewhere it could be low, and so on. All right. So you write a paragraph. So that's all. I don't want to add more into it. That's all. You have to write a paragraph about this graph. Okay. So for there'll be a 2 paragraph for 2 of those graphs. One is for table 2 graph, which is pressure versus altitude. Another paragraph should be based on table 3 and the graph you plotted, time versus methane, time versus carbon dioxide, time versus water vapor, another paragraph, and you are done. Okay. And at the beginning of the report, you will add a title page as it is highlighted in the beginning of the instruction manual. All right. So I will call it a day with this for my recording. I think if you follow my instruction, you can construct way before very nicely. If you do it before you come to the class, finish the work and submit the work and let me know that, okay, Professor, I did it. That's fine. You are all good. All right. Then I'll see you in the class. Okay, tomorrow. Okay. So have a beautiful day. Talk to you later.